Hello, everyone, and happy Saturday. I'm your digital host, Tatyana White, and welcome back to another episode of the 48 Recap, the one stop shop to catch up on some of our top news stories of the week, including a Madison apartment complex that has left residents without water for over a week, and it's now closing down, leaving residents to have to find a new home within a week. Also, we're going to look at updates on a November officer involved shooting that happened in Decatur, more details on the proposed child predator death penalty act in Alabama, looking into a story about a hidden camera found in a Coleman hotel. And we're also going to look at why restaurant prices are starting to increase, and a spotlight on Twiggy, the water skiing squirrel, weekend events, and so much more. So I hope you all are having a great weekend so far. It's definitely time to bring up those big coats again because those temperatures will be dropping soon. That colder weather is going to come in later this evening. So Sunday will be a 48 first alert weather day due to those cold temperatures. And 48's forecaster Jada Russell, she'll be joining you all in a little bit at around 4:30 for Weather Extra to just give you all a little bit more insight on what to prepare for those cold temperatures. But let's get right into this weekend's recap. So, one of our top news stories of this week that we've been following all the latest developments on is the water issues and the sudden closing at the Sutton Apartments in Madison. And so, residents at this apartment complex have gone weeks without water, and now residents are being forced to move after Madison Utilities closed the property owner's account. And so, the city of Madison officials, they held a press conference on Friday, and they said that they're helping these people get the help they need to move and try to find temporary housing. And that fund is set up to help every single resident get that temporary home that they need by next Friday, which is the day they have to be able to move out of the sun. And so 48's Noah Cal, he has been following the updates on this story all week, and he gives the latest on what we know.
When I came to these apartments on Monday, these residents were crying for help, but nobody was listening. After all these hard days of work to get this story out there, this community has now come together and these people can finally escape this nightmare. The city of Madison held a press conference this morning to announce Building Church here in Madison has set up a fund to pay for temporary living for every Sutton resident.
Right now, our goal is to help the remaining tenants relocate out of the Sutton Apartments by the end of next week.
The city is ordering the property to be vacated by next Friday, saying it's just not safe anymore. The property owner letting $30,000 worth of water bills go unpaid was just what brought it all to light. The Building Church already has $5,000 stored up to move these residents, and they hope more donations continue to pour in.
Even in all of the negative that these wonderful people have been exposed to, that the community is stepping up and the residents are stepping up. It's been really wonderful to see how people are giving out of the bottom of their hearts.
Shower Up offered these residents laundry services today, but they did much more than that. They also paid for two of these families in need to move to the Best Western Extended Stay for the next week.
Through next Friday, they're going to have running water, their own place, their own bed, where they can walk right into the shower and not have to come see us to do that. They felt alone, they felt abandoned, and knowing that we were out here, we're just hugging and embracing these people and praying with them and talking to them, hearing their cries and their stories. Their neighbors are coming to have their backs really means a lot to them.
Yvette Lunday and her son, who's on life support, were moved to the extended stay this afternoon after days of begging for help. When I told her that the help finally came, she broke down into tears. If you want to help the rest of these residents find a new home, you can donate on the link at our website at WAFF.com. Reporting in Madison, Noah Cowell, 48 News, on your side.
And as Noah said, if you want to help residents during this difficult time, you can visit our website at WAFF.com. And in our articles on the incident at the Sutton, we have links to different resources that are accepting donations for those residents. And so now to a 48 News update. A Decatur police officer is cleared after officials said he shot and injured a man who pointed a weapon at him while he tried to make a traffic stop back in November. 48's Kelly Neese was at the press conference in Decatur on Thursday, where both the police chief and the district attorney said this shooting was completely justified.
Chief Tory Mack says the officer-involved shooting from back in November has been ruled completely justified. and he showed us the video to back it up. Take a look at this dash camera footage from back in November. You can see the officer attempted to conduct a traffic stop, but the suspect did not stop. In fact, they continued to run stop signs in the process, but eventually they stopped at 11th and 1st Street.
Pay close attention to when he exited the vehicle. You would see him have a weapon in his left hand. He's going to transition the weapon from his left hand into his right hand and take a combative stance towards the officer.
That gun the suspect is holding is a BB gun replica of a Glock. Chief Mack said that is when the officer took out his gun and shot the suspect.
But you put yourself in the officer position at 8:30 at night in the dark, and you have this coming at you. I commend the officer for reverting to his training.
District Attorney Scott Anderson said this officer had a legal right to be where he was and was acting within the line and scope of his duties, adding that he responded reasonably to a threat that was made to him.
This case will not be presented to a grand jury because there's nothing to present. It's 100% absolutely clear that this officer did not commit a crime.
At this time, there are no charges for the man who was shot in this incident related to this incident. However, Chief Mack says he is locked up in the Morgan County Jail on unrelated warrants, adding that he is in good health. Mack says that he will not be releasing the name of the officer or the suspect in connection to this event. Reporting in Decatur, Callie Neese, 48 News, on your side.
And raping or sodomizing a child in Alabama could become a death penalty offense with the proposed Child Predator Death Penalty Act. And so the bill had a lot of support heading into the first day of the legislative session this week. And so 24 senators co-sponsored this bill. And the goal for the bill is to amend the law when it comes to capital punishment. And the bill would make first-degree rape, first-degree sodomy, and sexual torture capital offenses when the victim is younger than 12 years old. Lawmakers pushing the measure call the rape of a child the worst of offenses. But it could face an uphill battle because the U.S. Supreme Court previously ruled that the death penalty for non-homicide crimes violates the Eighth Amendment prohibition against cruel and unusual punishment. Despite that, several other states, including Tennessee and Florida, already have similar laws. This bill is one of 188 bills that were pre-filed for lawmakers to consider during the legislative session on Tuesday, and the act passed the Alabama House Committee this week, and Governor Kay Ivey expressed her full support for this bill and wants it to go into effect quickly. And hidden camera experts are speaking out after a Tennessee family found a camera disguised as a screw in a Coleman Hotel bathroom. And so Melanie Carr at Metro Spy Supply told us that they sell a lot of these cameras and that they are pretty user-friendly. The family says they found the camera disguised as a screw while staying in a Days Inn in Coleman last weekend. Though the Spy Supply doesn't sell screw cameras specifically, they do have many similar cameras for sale, and they are also readily available online. And so on the other end of the spectrum, Carr said that they also sell camera detection devices that users can point around the room to help detect hidden cameras. She says even if you don't have one of those camera detection devices, you can keep an eye out for things that look out of place, and even if you do find a hidden camera, she advises not to touch it.
If you do find one, do the proper channels. Tell management, tell the cops, and have the camera removed. But before you remove the camera, you want to document where it was, and you want to let them know, because cover your bases. You don't want to get accused of something that you didn't do.
Officials from the district attorney's office told us that some crimes involving these hidden cameras can be punishable by up to 10 years in prison. And restaurant prices are starting to go up. If you've seen going out and you've seen those prices go up, some people are saying that restaurants eating out is becoming unaffordable. And so 48's Callie Neese, she spoke to cafe owners who told her exactly why their prices are starting to trend up. So let's take a listen.
Many people tell me they feel like it's becoming more expensive to eat out at restaurants and cafes. And the owner of Cross-Eyed Owl told me that prices are trending up.
It's like that. Been going on basically forever.
Rabin Wilson came into Cross-Eyed Owl for a coffee today before she met up with her dad for lunch. She told me she used to eat out often, but not as much anymore.
You know, there's some restaurants we used to go to for a fun family night that we just kind of don't visit anymore because we got to watch the prices.
Keith Yeager is the owner of Cross-Eyed Owl Brewing. He told me he had to raise prices of coffee about 20%. A turkey sandwich at a nearby deli saw a 25% increase over 5 years, according to menu prices posted on Yelp.
I think a lot of people don't understand is that prices continue to go up for small businesses, and so they're having to pass those prices along onto the customers.
Yeager says it's more than just him paying more for coffee beans from a wholesaler.
If you do a credit card transaction, those prices have gone up just yesterday, as a matter of fact. Ours went up from 10 cents per transaction to 15 cents per credit card transaction, and then an additional 3% on top of all of that for whatever the accumulation of the transaction was.
Yeager told me in order to keep costs down, just yesterday they decided to pass that 15-cent charge on to the customer. Wilson adds that small business owners are also just trying to make a living just like everyone else.
Know that you're not alone. There are other people next to you every day at work, at school, in the office who are kind of feeling that same anxiety when it comes to budgeting and just feeding your family. So let's work together and support local.
Reporting in Decatur, Callie Neese, 48 News, on your side.
And a very talented rodent is entertaining guests at the Huntsville Boat Show this weekend. Twiggy the water skiing squirrel is showing off all weekend long at the VBC. And so we got the chance to meet Twiggy when she appeared on Tennessee Valley Living on Thursday. And she was just so sweet, so adorable. And it's just so cool that they're able to train this squirrel to do these tricks and everything. And we got the chance to also see her stage inside the VBC's South Hall. And it's just, again, so fascinating seeing her water ski and learning about the training process. And this is actually Twiggy number 11. She's the latest in a long line of skiing squirrels. And Twiggy's handler, Chuck Best, has been training squirrels his entire life. His parents started the water skiing squirrel show in 1979. And you might be surprised how quickly he says Twiggy got the hang of water skiing.
So I grew up with squirrels. My life has been nuts. It was in my family tree.
This one.
So this one, she learned in a month. So it's usually just training for a few minutes a day, every few days. But once they have it, once they learn it, they know it.
The Huntsville Boat Show began yesterday and it continues today through tomorrow, and it's $12 for an adult day pass. And so coming up after the break, we'll take a look at stories coming up in our evening newscast, and we'll also check out some great events happening in the Huntsville and surrounding areas this weekend, including more on the boat show with Twiggy the water skiing squirrel. So stay tuned. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the 48 Recap. Let's check out a story you can look out for coming up in our evening newscast. Huntsville police, they are investigating a shooting that happened just before 10 on Friday night. This happened on Otter Trail, and police told us that the two men shot at each other and they were both taken to the hospital. And police say they are in custody in the hospital right now, and they're still working to learn what led up to the shooting. During an investigation, police learned that the two men knew each other. Right now, it's unknown if either one of them will be charged in this shooting. Also in Morgan County, deputies, EMS, and the volunteer fire department were dispatched to Apple Grove Road in the Union Hill area today after a person was found lying in a ditch. Morgan County Sheriff's officials said it appears the person may have been struck by a vehicle and the person was treated by medical personnel. And so this incident caused the roadway to be temporarily closed, and we will update you all as more information becomes available on this incident. So tune into our evening newscast to hear more details on these stories and many others. And there are just some fun events happening in the Huntsville and surrounding areas this weekend. As I mentioned earlier in the show, this weekend is Huntsville's Boat Show, which is being held at the VBC. And at the boat show, you can shop from local dealers with hundreds of boats on display. You can also visit with local Huntsville area boating vendors. And the best part is, of course, seeing Twiggy the water skiing squirrel. I feel like you can't really see that often anywhere, so that's always a great time to go out and see that. And the Huntsville Boat Show is going on right now until 8 p.m. and tomorrow from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. And tickets can be bought online at huntsvilleboatshow.com. And there's also going to be a hockey game tonight with the Huntsville Havoc versus the Knoxville Ice Bears. At tonight's game, you can help raise money for the Huntsville Hospital NICU, and the game is at 7 p.m. at the VBC Arena. Tickets can be purchased at the VBC box office, Huntsville Havoc office, and online at Ticketmaster.com. And the third Monday of every year is set aside to honor Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s life. And King, he's notoriously known for fighting his entire life for equal rights for all people in our country before he was assassinated. Many of those battles brought him here to Alabama, like the famous March from Selma to Montgomery, to demand equal voting rights for Black Americans. And on MLK Day coming up on Monday, it has also become MLK Day of Service, where people are encouraged to honor Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s legacy through community volunteering with activities like cleanups, donation drives, or just supporting local shelters and schools. So there's going to be many opportunities in the North Alabama area to do something for MLK Day of Service and events on Monday to go celebrate and just honor Dr. King's life and legacy. And there are also just so many great events to check out. So just be sure to be bundled up. Of course, like I said, those temperatures are going to begin to drop very rapidly later this evening into Sunday. So definitely bundle up, but go out, enjoy yourself before the temperatures get really, really cold. And anytime throughout the week, if you are looking for a fun or just good event to go to, you can always check out huntsville.org's event tab and wearehuntsville.com's event calendar to see more events that are happening in the area. And that's all I have today for the 48 recap. Thank you all for tuning in. Don't forget to tune into 48's Weather Extra segments. Our meteorologists go live every Monday through Friday at 10:30 a.m. and 9:30 p.m. and every Saturday and Sunday at 8:15 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. Forecaster Jada Russell will join you all in just a few minutes for another edition of Weather Extra. So be sure to tune in, and she will be talking more about those really cold temperatures that will be coming in tonight and into Sunday, which is why we will be having a 48 First Alert weather day tomorrow. So tune in if you can. And again, our Weather Extra segments, they're just another way to give you all those extra insights on the latest forecasts and keep you all updated and prepared. So make sure to download our 48 apps and follow us on our Facebook and YouTube channel so you don't miss any of those updates on the news and on the weather. And if you would like to stay connected with me throughout the week, please be sure to follow my Facebook page at Tatyana White, WAFF 48. I would love to connect with you all, and so please feel free to keep in touch that way as well throughout the week. Take care, everyone, and stay safe. And also, again, stay warm. Those temperatures are going to be dropping soon. And I will see you all back here next Saturday. I hope you all have a great rest of your weekend.